It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is brand new Soulbender from the forthcoming re-release of the original Soulbender, and it's going to contain 4 extra tracks. And the name of that tune there is called Turn Anger Up, and a guy who might know a little bit about anger since he's had a little bit of a tumultuous couple of last years is our good friend Michael Wilton of Queensryche. Welcome back to the Classic Metal Show there, Michael.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Well,
and actually, these days are quite happy, and I got to tell you, it's sunny outside here in Seattle, and we're just like, loving our football team as well.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys, the Seattle Seahawks had turned on the juice, and people are talking about saying that they're dirty players, but I don't believe that. I just think they're a tough football team. What do you think?
Oh, they're a tough, fast team, and they're coached really well, and they're just an amazing bunch of people.
Sure, absolutely. Well, Michael, you are one to never shy away from being a busy guy. Obviously, you and the rest of your bandmates in Queensryche have put all the the animosities behind you. You're looking forward to a new day in Queensryche. You're re-releasing this new Soulbender with some additional tracks with Rat Pack Records, and things are looking bright for you. And you also have some other outside interests outside of music too.
Oh, yeah, quite a few. I'm busy. I'm a full-time guy, man, but, I wish I could multitask like my wife.
Nice. Well, at least you have someone helping you out with all your different entities and whatnot. So, anyway, Soulbender is re-releasing the debut self-titled release, and you're tacking on 4 new tracks and so on and so forth. And how did this come about, and why now after all these years?
Well, I mean, the first Soulbender CD we put out, and just, with the help of the internet, and that's about it. No marketing, no promotion plan. So that was 2004, and then fast forward 10 years. Wow, it's 2014, and Rat Pack Records wanted to put 4 new songs out, and then they decided, since it's never had the full push that they really wanted, they decided, hey, let's remaster your first album and put these 4 new tracks on, and let's push this thing out. And so, it happened quite quickly. I called the guys and had them record the 4 songs, all the beds and everything, while I was on the road with Queensryche, and then I came back and went and met up at the studio, and then we finished guitar parts, guitar solos, got all the mixed vocals in there, and then wham bam, off to Rat Pack, and here we go. So we're really happy and kind of excited with the whole push of this.
Right. Well, Michael, back about 6 years ago, you were working with a good friend of mine, Tim Owens, and he was, assumed the duties of Soulbender, and at the time it was kind of speculated that you had a good portion of the new Soulbender written and ready to go, and then it just never materialized, and, here it is 6 years later. What happened between then and now?
Well, we did a string of shows with Soulbender, and then everybody kind of had to get back to their daily lives and daily jobs and everything. So, we just put it on the side. I tried and get some other musicians, to fill it in, and tried a few things, but, it really wasn't clicking. And then, but I did manage to get some demos recorded, and I sent them to my buddy Ripper, Tim Owens, and he sang a couple demos, and then, things, I think I went on tour. Next thing you know, he opened up a restaurant, and, opening up a restaurant is no easy job for anybody. I don't see how people can do that, but he did that, and I think it kind of consumed all his time, and it's all good. But, yeah, I still have the demos that he sang on. So maybe someday, we can do something together.
Right. Well, Michael, we've had this discussion on the Classic Metal Show, and somebody like you can definitely have input on this. We've often had this debate on the show over the years. What makes a band? Is it the name of the band? Is it the founding member of the band? Is it the vocalist that makes the band? Is it the guitarist? What makes a band? Because obviously, Soulbender has gone through some lineup changes over the years, and as you said in your previous comment there, that you were looking for musicians who can click and work together well, to do this. So what makes a band? I mean, what makes a identifiable sound, or what sets a band apart where somebody would say, hey, that's Soulbender, or that's Queensryche, or that's, whatever band you want to name? What makes a band?
Well, I mean, it depends on the situation, but I'll tell you what doesn't make a band, and that's one person. A band is the unity of everybody into it, and everybody putting in as much equal input cohesively and creating great music and doing performances and keeping it more of a democratic feel. To me, that's a band. That being said, you can start new bands, and if one person is already known in the industry, then, he's going to get the focus. But generally, a band it's the cohesive elements of what's, it's united. It's the strength and the core of the union. That is the band.
Right. Well, some of your contemporaries out there's some guys that basically kind of stand out as far as, vocalists or guitarists are concerned, like Megadeth, for example. Megadeth would not be Megadeth without Dave Mustaine. Obviously, he's been able to carry on the Megadeth name without any of the original members, but it's still Megadeth. Same way with the band Wasp. Nobody's in the band Wasp except Blackie Lawless, but without Blackie, there would be no Wasp. Same thing with Dokken. You know Don Dokken pretty well. I mean, without Don Dokken, there is no Dokken. So does that hold true for those situations?
Well, it kind of helps if your name is part of the band. People are going to identify with that.
Sure.
Van Halen, come on.
Right. Absolutely.
But when it's probably a name of a band that's symbolic of something else. Then it's a bit different.
Right. Right. Well, obviously you're part of an iconic band that has a very identifiable sound, be it Queensryche, and without rehashing anything here, obviously you parted ways with your original singer who has a distinct vocal style, and you have a new singer who carries on the tradition of Queensryche very well, if not better than the original singer. How has things worked progressively so far? I know you mentioned at the very beginning of this interview that you're much happier these days and things are much more cohesive. So what's going on with the current Queensryche camp?
Yeah, I mean, Queensryche is brought into its new evolution, a very new, exciting element, and we've been, blessed to have the pipes of Todd LaTorre, and it's taken Queensryche to a new level, which is great. We've been touring on the last 2 years of the last album we put out, which has done amazing all over the world and done quite better than the previous few, and we're just so happy, and we're rekindling relationships with old fans, promoters, and owners of places, and it's just so great. So now we've come to the next step, which is the next record of Queensryche, and we are busy writing songs. We have lots and lots of songs that we're putting together, and we're going to hope to have this thing recorded by the end of the year and probably put out the first quarter of 2015. So anywhere, late spring, early spring, kind of in that area is kind of landing mark for us. And then we're talking a whole new 2015 Queensryche World Tour.
Wow. Well, how would you describe the music that you're currently working on where Queensryche is concerned? How does it compare to the debut of your new singer?
Well, it's obviously we know each other a little better, having toured for a couple of years together, and it's made the transition to the next CD, I think, a lot easier. It's a lot more natural, and there's no underlying tension. And so, the songs are coming out. They're all different. They're definitely Queensryche because you got the proven assets of Queensryche, and it's in our DNA. And you're going to get some great Queensryche performances on this next one, and all types of music. I'm not going to say if it's metal, if it's hard rock, if it's commercial or whatever. It's just Queensryche.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Michael, getting back to your Soulbender release here, it says that according to the press release here, because aside from the one song, I haven't heard it. But it says that the original members of Soulbender have come back together to, release, 4 new tracks for the re-release of the debut of Soulbender. What are you going to do with that? I mean, is this something that you intend on touring with, or just play, sporadic shows, or is this just a studio project for you guys, or how does this work for you when you're so busy with your main project?
Yeah, obviously, I'm very busy, and they're very busy with their personal lives. So, it's few and far between if we're actually going to be able to tour, but maybe a few spot shows here and there. But the offer's got to be great, and the circumstances have got to be good. So. I'm not going to hold my breath, but, we've done it before. But, Soulbender is a group of guys that are talented musicians and love writing music. And this is what we're doing. We're giving you this music, and it communicates to the fans. And that's kind of really what we enjoy, and that's our primary goal.
Excellent. Well, Michael, just a little tongue-in-cheek question here. Soulbender originally played their debut show opening up for Jeff Tate solo band. Would you open up for Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime band?
I don't even think Soulbender is going to tour, so it's kind of a hard situation. But, yeah, that was a few years ago, and that was actually a really cool show. So,
right.
But I couldn't say.
Right.
I highly doubt anything like that.
Right. Well, Michael, what do you want to tell us about the new Soulbender we haven't talked about? Obviously, you've signed a deal with Rat Pack Records, who's going to get you some worldwide distribution, and the fans of you on a personal level are going to get some new music outside of the Queensryche realm. So what else do you want to tell us about this?
Well, I want people to check out Rat Pack Records. It's ratpackrecords.com, and there's a bunch of different ways you can purchase the CD. There's lots of innovative bundles that they've put together, which are really cool. And in those bundles, I think it's you can acquire a phone call from me, and that's something I've never done. I go, really? Okay. So, and I thought about it. How cool is that? God, I'd pay for a phone call from Jimmy Page,
Sure.
But anyway, I mean, and also, that being said, Rat Pack Records is an independent record label, and it's great that they're able to put out artists that probably didn't want to go to a big record label or couldn't in some capacity. So, it's great people support the independent record labels, and that Rat Pack Records is a really great one.
Sure.
So, just wanted people to be aware of that, and also just thanks for supporting live music. Let's support your local bands, support live music, because that's how a lot of these bands are making their living. So, and other than that, just keep it real.
Excellent. Well, Michael, tell us about this Whips Bar and Grill. What's that all about?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of the spokesperson for this new venture, and it's going to be a bar that's going to have my Whip Ale beer that we're going to have. It's exclusive there for the East Coast at least, and it's going to be a restaurant, and it's going to have a sound stage with a full PA and lighting system. So, the plan is to have kind of in that Virginia area when you're down in Florida and you got to get up to Maine or whatever, and you want to play somewhere in between. It might be one of those kind of cool places that will feature all kinds of hard rock acts.
Right. And when is the when is the anticipated opening date for this?
Well, breaking ground is probably not till springtime next year. So, however long it takes after that, I'm not really into the whole building code situation there, and but it's definitely next year. How about that?
All right, sounds good. And then, of course, you mentioned your Whip Ale. A lot of musicians have attached their names to various products, be it ales or wines or coffees or hot sauces and so on and so forth. They diversify a little bit, which is always a good idea. So tell us a little bit about the Whip Ale that you want to point out to the fans.
Sure. Whip Ale is a Seattle craft beer that is my recipe. I designed that, and this opportunity came to me back in 2004, and it's been selling in the Northwest for, obviously a while. But, I've moved on to my next brewery and put Whip Ale in the can, and we're, just shipping all over the place, and the stuff is selling out as soon as it's made. So, but we're just a small little, contingent of the craft brew that's available in the Northwest. That's so great. So, but I do have aspirations, and I hope that eventually I can start getting my beer into other states, and everybody can taste the nectar of the gods.
Excellent. All right, Michael. Well, obviously you got a lot going on. The new Soulbender is going to be released on Rat Pack Records over at ratpackrecords.com. I believe September 30th is the release date.
Yeah, September 30th. Check it out.
And it'll contain 4 new songs as well as a remastered re-release of the self-titled Soulbender release. And then, of course, Queensryche working on new material slated for early to mid next year, and Whip Ale, and the all kinds of stuff. Michael, I tell you what, when do you sleep?
Oh, usually I don't. I'm like 24 hours going all the time, and that's why I gotta design some new espresso coffee or something.
Sure, absolutely. All right, well, if you want to go over and check out Michael Wilton, just go over to michaelwilton.com and see all the stuff he's involved with, and let him know you heard him here on the Classic Metal Show. So is that pretty much wrap it up for you, Michael? I mean, anything else you want to mention?
Other than a big thank you to the fans for the support over the years, and for supporting Queensryche, and as well, a little Soulbender.
Excellent. All right, well, Michael, before I let you go, I got to ask you the traditional Classic Metal Show question. You may or may have not answered this question in the past. I don't remember, but I'm going to ask you again. How has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
Wow, Lemmy is a great guy. I've obviously known him for a long time, and, I'm always a supporter of Motorhead. And, if anything, Lemmy has taught me, and probably some of the other guys in the band, that music needs to be played really loud. And he was probably the loudest show I've ever heard of a band on stage.
Excellent. All right, Michael. Well, we're going to let you pick a closing song from maybe this re-release Soulbender, or maybe something from the Queensryche catalog. What do you think we got to play to close out the interview?
Well, how about a little Soulbender, a little Slave to Reality?
All right. Anything about that song you want to mention?
Just let it hit you in the face. It's a great one.
Excellent. All right, well, here it is. This is Michael Wilton with Soulbender, exclusively here on your Classic Metal Show.